Well, it looks like the impeachment hearing seems to be blowing up in the face of the Dems. It makes I don't understand at all. Well, first, let me get to the point of, liking and sharing. So I could try and get this channel to grow. I mean, we still need I love Candace Owens and Brandon Tatum, the Hodge twins, but they're all younger than me. I'm 49 and grew up, in the 70s and would like more. They all point out we need more of our voices, intelligent blacks who are not conned, who are not brainwashed by the left, brainwashed by, we got to vote Democrat because, see, I know the truth, and I get to use my brain to my intelligence, my wisdom, my life experiences, speak on matters. And as I said, I love Candace and the Hodge twins and Brandon and all those guys and everything, but we need more of my generation. We need more of our time to speak up and come out about the truth. We need to, especially educating the young, the youth, the black youth. We need to educate them more into opening your eyes, using your brain. Now, on to, I like listening to Tucker Carlson, and then I've got my other second video coming up, reviewing Judge Janine. Oh, man, that woman is beautiful. Beautiful and intelligent. Man, great. That's some awesome qualities right there.
Like the never-ending impeachment hearings just ended about 60 seconds ago. Like an H&R meeting convened in hell, the whole Ukraine impeachment saga is boring, hard to understand, and apparently goes on for eternity. It never ends. Washington endured and the rest of America ignored yet another round of it today. The hearings consumed virtually every hour of Wednesday's available daylight and elevated to international celebrity the country's current ambassador to European Union, a man called Gordon Sondland. In contrast to other recent witnesses, Sondland wasn't obviously hostile to the administration. In fact, he was appointed directly by President Trump, who was also a major Trump donor. So given those two facts, Sondland's opening statement this morning initially looked like a complete disaster for the administration.
I know that members of this committee frequently frame these complicated issues in the form of a simple question. Was there a quid pro quo? As I testified previously, with regard to the requested White House call and the White House meeting, the answer is yes.
So that's how the morning.
No, this is what he says plainly. The answer to your question of, remember that. The answer to your question, if there was quid pro quo, is yes. Remember that.
Began. The answer is yes, said Gordon Sondland. There was a quid pro quo. And not only that, he explained, pretty much everybody knew about it.
Everyone was in the loop. It was no secret. Everyone was informed via email on July 19th, days before the presidential call.
Holy smokes. For a moment there, it looked like case closed. The final ignominious end of the Trump presidency, the one that our perpetually excitable friends in the news media have been confidently predicting day after rage-filled day for more than 3 years now. Last meltdown. The great Orange Hindenburg finally bursts into flame. TV studios across Midtown Manhattan, cable news contributors struggled to hold back tears of joy. And then Adam Schiff took the microphone. Schiff, as the ringmaster of this particular circus, was determined to bring it to its final theatrical close. Tell us, Adam Schiff said.
Obviously, be it Sondland, he's another fucking idiot. All he did was give his opening statement, which was bullshit. Straight up bullshit. But he's not stupid.
About President Trump's deal with Ukraine to investigate Joe Biden in return for foreign aid was the moment Democrats have been waiting for. But when it finally arrived, Gordon Sondland wouldn't read from the script.
Though President Trump claimed to you there was no quid pro quo, he also made it clear to you in that call that President Zelensky had to, quote, clear things up and do it in public. You don't have a reason to dispute. That's what
I don't have any reason to dispute the clear things up and do it in public. What I'm trying to be very clear about was President Trump never told me directly that the aid was tied to that statement.
But in that same conversation you had with him about the aid, about the quid pro quo, he told you that President Zelensky had to, quote, clear things up and do it in public, correct?
I did not have a conversation with him about the aid. I had a conversation with him, as referenced in my text, about quid pro quo.
Well, the quid pro quo you were discussing was over the aid, correct?
No. President Trump, when I asked him the open-ended question, as I testified previously, what do you want from Ukraine? His answer was, I want nothing. I want no quid pro quo. Tell Zelensky to do the right thing. That's all I got from President Trump.
So they pushed him and
So, opens his statement saying that we are going to get to the fact that there was 100% quid pro quo. And then this is the opening statement. Then when he's actually questioned, because he's under oath, now he says there isn't a quid pro quo. I'm trying to understand what the hell is going on here. Why there hasn't been I'm confused. Why is there no one that's just walking into the hearings and just going, that's it, everybody out of the pool, everybody out, that's it, we're done. You have no evidence, no proof. Everything y'all are throwing out is speculation, presumption, assumption. Everyone that you're questioning, everyone is literally saying we have no proof. What the hell are we doing here? Why there's no singular power that could just show up and just go, that's it, everybody get the fuck out. That's it. Just fire everybody. This is what gets me about this country and elections and Congress people staying, and why don't we have term limits? Congressmen staying in power for fucking ever. You know, their job is, I mean, anybody who could screw up that bad be sued, be fired, you know, yet somehow or another these Congress people could just spit on, piss on our Constitution. And there's nothing that can just, why can't we, the citizens, just show up, just barge in and be like, that's it, we're done. We're done. Y'all are done. Get out.
pushed him and they pushed him again, but Gordon Sondland would not, in the end, mouth Adam Schiff's talking points. Well, why not?
Because he was under oath and he would end up going to jail. Being under oath and being asked, was there any quid pro quo? Him coming out and saying yes. Now then, you know, it could be like, okay. But now you're going to have proof. And lying under oath, not a good thing.
He didn't have any evidence that they were true. As Sondland conceded in an exchange with Congressman Michael Turner, his assessment of any deals Trump may have struck with Ukraine was based mostly on assumptions.
No one on this planet told you that President Trump was tying aid to investigations. Yes or no?
Yes.
So you really have no testimony today that ties President Trump to a scheme to withhold aid from Ukraine in exchange for these investigations.
Other than my own presumption.
Which is nothing.
Which is,
This is tiresome.
This is
And of
stupid.
course, we apologize for it as we have in nights past, but since it's happening, we feel duty bound to explain it. So,
Yes. Yeah, I see what Tucker Carlson is saying. This is tiresome. We're having to, cover this bullshit over and over and over. But the thing is, because they're the only ones doing it, they have to cover it. Because what is it that movie? I think it was Martin Sheen, Kirk Douglas or Michael Douglas, whatever, where he's the president and they're playing pool at the time and everything, and it's like, look, all what Rumson or Rumsfeld or whatever the other character, all he's saying is a bunch of BS, and it's like, yes, he's the only one talking. I'm glad there's at least Fox News, because we're having that truth. And you'll see a little bit later what I'm talking about. Because remember what I said about remembering the opening statement of Sondland? When he goes through his opening statement saying that to answer your question, if there was quid pro quo, yes. Then you got to realize when it comes to the questioning, that's after his opening statement.
a presumption. Now, some presumptions are correct, others are laughably wrong. But one thing presumption definitely isn't is evidence. You can't
And I've been saying that for Facebook. I've been saying that for a while now. Assumptions, presumptions, guessing, none of that is fact. You need facts. This is nothing but a hearing. But for it to actually become an impeachment trial, you would need facts. And there have been no facts whatsoever. So why are we doing this? This is a wait. Again, this is the reason why we need to be marching on Washington and barging in and citizen arrest Adam Schiff and all these other fucktards, because they are wasting our money. They're wasting taxpayer. This is what gets me. They want to talk about that Trump hijacked the election. Isn't that what they're trying to do? I thought of something, which is the reason why I'm doing this particular video right now, early this morning. They're trying to pollute the waters. They know they have no evidence. They know they have no facts. What they're trying to bank on, and I know this because I've got these idiot Democratic friends that will listen to, because CNN and all of them, all they proposed to do, all they did, I'll get to it in a second, but all they did is they ran stories going, oh my God, there's a bombshell. He said, yes, there was collusion. He said, yes, there was quid pro quo. That was from the opening statement, not him under oath, not him under question. They know damn well they're trying to pollute the waters on purpose to try and fix the election. They're hoping there are enough dumbass people that won't listen to the entire story, won't hear all of the evidence, which there is none, and just go, well, yeah, because, they're saying that there is quid pro quo. We're just going to vote against the president. Even though they know. What is it? When you watch a lot of these TV shows that deal with court hearings, court proceedings and everything, and the lawyer keeps attacking and badgering the witness and everything, then the judge, then it's like, Your Honor, objection. And the judge turns around and goes, hey, strike that. We'll disregard that with his statements. Obviously, you're not going to disregard the statements because the waters are already polluted. This is what the Democrats are doing. They know damn well there's no evidence. They're just trying to pollute the waters, fuck with the election. This is what's so funny. They accuse Donald Trump of doing it with no evidence whatsoever. And here is all the evidence of these damn Democrats doing exactly that, polluting the waters to try and fix the election. Here's all the evidence right here with this stupid, dumbass farce of a hearing.
Turn an election based on a presumption. You can't stage an impeachment on presumptions. You need facts to do that. And as the day went on, Sondland introduced a new fact. The president, Gordon Sondland told us, had told him explicitly that he, in fact, didn't want a quid pro quo with Ukraine.
He said that in his opening statement.
You said to the President of the United States, what do you want from Ukraine? The President, I want nothing. I want no quid pro quo. I want Zelensky to do the right thing. I want him to do what he ran on.
Let's back this up. Let's back this up. Look at Sondland's face. He looks smug. These are his own words being read back to him. But he looks smug as shit. One of the people I follow on YouTube, he's a body language expert, a person that he's an expert in reading body language, intonation, all of the things that determine if you're a liar. You know, damn well he's got to be watching this going, that motherfucker's straight up lying. That was military intelligence. We were trained in deception, deception. We were also trained in counterintelligence, reading deception. That motherfucker's straight up lying.
Explicitly, he in fact didn't want a quid pro quo.
Look at his face.
Ukraine. You said to the President of the United States, what do you want from Ukraine? The President, I want nothing. I want no quid pro quo. I want Zelensky to do the right thing. I want him to do what he ran on. Why didn't you put that statement in your opening statement? I think you said you couldn't fit it in. Is that right? We might be here for 46 minutes instead of 45 minutes.
It wasn't purposeful, trust me.
Was it purposeful?
No.
Couldn't fit it in a 23-page opener. Fair question, actually. So why wasn't that fact, and it's not a small point, by the way, it's the point on which the entire impeachment hangs, why wasn't that point included in Sondland's opening statement? Well, we don't know, really, but here's one possible explanation. The statement was likely drafted by Sondland's legal team, and all four of his attorneys, it turns out, because we checked, are Democratic donors. The man seated next to Gordon Sondland today during the hearing, that would be a man called Robert Luskin. He has given over $130,000 to the Democrats over the years. Luskin also represented FBI informant Stefan Halper during the Russia hoax not too long ago. Was it possible that someone like Luskin was thinking about more than his client's personal interests in this case? Could impeaching public enemy number one have crossed his mind? We don't know, but it doesn't seem implausible. We should also point out something.
We can presume, right? Can't we presume?
Gordon Sondland and his family have been under intense political pressure, in some cases scary political pressure, from the left for weeks. Protesters have swarmed Gordon Sondland and his family in public. Democratic politicians have endorsed boycotts, pushed boycotts of his businesses, his livelihood. In other words, the left has been working the refs, and that shouldn't surprise you because for the left, this is total war. And yet in this one case, it didn't quite work. By the close of business today, we're back right where we were when.
Well, let me get this straight. He is a witness for the left. He's supposed to be the bombshell witness. And at the exact same time, leftists are intimidating his businesses, his family. He's a witness for the left. Why would they need to pressure him? They're pressuring him to lie. Again, if they can presume, we can presume. And I presume that that's exactly what they're doing. Why would you be attacking your own witness? Interesting. They're pressuring him to lie. I'm sorry. I don't give a shit how much pressure. Again, I'm not some weak-ass piece of shit either. So you can come try and protest me or dox me all you want. As I keep pointing out in my videos, I'm 6'1" or 270. Try and dox me and see what the fuck happens. My neighborhood ain't going to put up with that shit. I live in a really nice neighborhood. My neighbors aren't going to put up with that shit. Most of us are vets, cop, armed citizens. So, yeah. Try and dox me and pressure me. It ain't going to work out for you. Not at all.
Ukraine circus started. In fact, we're back where we were on November 9th, 2016. Yes, a lot of people in Washington despise Donald Trump. But still, to this moment, nobody can prove a crime. Don't tell the press, though. They're celebrating as if someone did. Now we know that.
Now, remember what I said. Let's back this up for a minute. Remember what I said about remembering from his opening statement. Yes, I'm gonna prove to you there was quid pro quo. I'm gonna answer your question that yes, there was quid pro quo. And all of a sudden, during the hearing, told the truth and said, no, there wasn't. I was not privy to any of that information. But look at what CNN and everybody does.
Despise Donald Trump. But still, to this moment, nobody can prove a crime. Don't tell the press, though. They're celebrating as if someone did.
Now we know that every fantasy about how corrupt this administration was is actually true.
Our live coverage of the blowtorch testimony this morning from Gordon Sondland turns out to be the guy who has offered most stunning testimony.
In addition to that, and the bombshells we've heard about, this was an IED from Mr. Sondland.
As you said, taking a blowtorch to every defense Donald Trump has offered. We don't say this very often anymore because it's rarely true, but I think today changed everything.
You heard it. Bombshells, IEDs, blowtorches. Who writes the metaphors for these hair hats?
Now remember, that was just from his opening statement. During the actual hearing under oath, he said there was none. Did CNN say that? No, they stuck with the opening statement, completely muddying the waters. Very interesting.
It sounds like today's hearing was taking place in ISIS territory, in the caliphate. But the really telling line comes from the CNN legal analyst, and we're quoting now. Every fantasy about how corrupt this administration was is actually true. Pause for a minute and think about what he's telling you. All of the fantasies the press has held without evidence are true, based on testimony from another person who doesn't have evidence. Do you remember the Russia collusion story? Remember?
All of it was a fantasy. This lawyer literally is now. This is what gets me, and this is, again, how stupid Democrats are, or any of my friends or associates that are Democrats. This lawyer for CNN, for the left, just admitted everything that they've ever thought about the president has been nothing but a fantasy. Everything. Based on another person who has no evidence and no proof. My thing that I caught on is you just admitted it's all a fantasy. It's all fake. All of it. So if it's all fake, then what the hell are we doing then? Everything, the Russian collusion, all of it has been nothing but a fantasy. See, here's the thing. I guarantee you if he's caught on his quote, he's going to say he misspoke. The dude is a fucking he's a lawyer. They're taught to lie. They learn how to lie. And yet I guarantee if he gets confronted, he's going to say he misspoke. Oh my God, just dumb.
Stormy Daniels, remember every totally baseless and in some cases insane allegation that people I've seen as legal analysts invented, promoted, and used to try to affect elections, and in so doing destroyed lives? Well, they're telling us that all of them were true because of our presumptions. That's the most revealing thing in all of this. From the beginning, Washington has had presumptions about what the new president was like, about what policies voters were allowed to choose. Voters weren't allowed to end foreign wars by casting a ballot or to put America first or to secure America's borders. It's not on the table. Those aren't menu options. This isn't a real democracy, according to the people who administered the democracy. And by the way, that ought to make you nervous. You come to Washington, the city that's in charge of our democracy, and no one believes in it? If you showed up in Detroit and everyone was driving a Japanese car, would it make you nervous? It would. And they don't believe in it. And so what they're really saying to voters is, you can't actually make changes to American policies, the ones that we support. All you're allowed to do is rubber stamp the current status quo, the one that enriches private equity managers and defense contractors and parasites in the vast federal bureaucracy, our donors and friends, Other than that, shut up and obey. So that's their program. And maybe they'll succeed in the end. Maybe they'll remove the president. Okay. What then? Well, Washington will celebrate, of course. But will they have learned anything from the exercise? Will the 2016 election have changed their minds, their priorities at all in any way? Or will they continue to console themselves that the whole thing was just some weird aberration run by Russia and racists in the heartland? Something that they can safely ignore and return to a kind of arrangement that looks very much like 1998 or 1978 for that matter. We know the answer to that. If the people in charge were capable of learning anything, our country wouldn't look like it does today.
Good. All right, now let me get to the other one. My girl, Judge Janine. As I said, beauty and brains. Man, great combination.
They called it an impeachment inquiry. They said it would be bipartisan. It didn't start out that way. In fact, the only thing that was bipartisan was the vote to not go forward. After 2 weeks and 17 witnesses, where the goal were to convince Republicans and the nation of the evidence of an impeachable offense, Adam Schiff and his gang of political malcontents failed miserably. Like last week, this week they proved nothing. Like last week, this week, every witness indicated they heard nothing from the president that would prove he committed an impeachable offense.
Nope.
The word bribery or bribe doesn't appear anywhere in that. Williams, you've never used the word bribery or bribe to explain President Trump's conduct, correct?
No, sir.
Colonel Vindman, you haven't either. That is correct.
I wanted to start with the July 25th call between President Trump and President Zelensky. Mr. Morrison, you were on that call, and there was no mention of withholding aid on the call, correct?
That's correct, Congresswoman.
There was no quid pro quo, correct?
Correct.
No bribery?
Correct.
No extortion?
Correct.
Yet they are so dug in and determined to get rid of the 45th president that we elected, it appears their next step will be to draft articles of impeachment. It almost doesn't matter whether there is a crime. He simply has to go. Nancy Pelosi says he's an imposter.
I think part of it is his own insecurity as an imposter.
Insecurity. I've never seen my president be insecure. Ever. I'm not talking about during his presidency. I'm literally talking about as long as I have been alive and have known who Donald J. Trump is, I've never seen him be nervous, be insecure. Ever. So what the hell is fucking Nancy bitch at? Oh my God. Ugh. Mr. Poopy Patch. I have never seen my president insecure. Ever. But what the hell is she talking about over the illegitimate, I'm getting tongue-tied. That his presidency isn't real. It is real. We voted him in. Y'all are basing it on Russian collusion. That in the other video, the lawyer said it was all a fantasy. So, again, whatever happened to the Russian collusion? Whatever happened to? I thought that's what y'all were trying to impeach him on, was the Russian collusion. We went from the Russian collusion to this Ukraine bullshit. Money that he did or did not withhold from a corrupt Ukrainian government that we knew is corrupt, just like we know the Mexican government is corrupt. We know it. We know it to be corrupt. Why would I give you money? That just makes any sense. One of the other people I follow even said, even if he did withhold money, it is within his right to do so from a corrupt government. Remember, Obama gave what? Billions of dollars to, well, he tried secretly giving it. Of course, he got caught to what? Iran, Iraq, whoever the fucking shit. and said, "Oh, I was in my right to do that." No, you weren't, because if you were, why were you trying to keep it under the table? Why were you trying to keep it hidden, Obama, if it was within your right to do that? Give what, billions of dollars to a country that can't stand us, that hates us. Why would you do that under the table if you were in your right to do that?
This woman is so scatterbrained that she can't figure out what the crime is. Quid pro quo, bribery, extortion. The latest, now he is using the office for his own personal gain. But Nancy, impeachment requires a specific high crime misdemeanor bribery extortion. You can't get rid of a president because you don't like him or because you know you simply cannot defeat him.
And that's what gets me. All the conversations I've had with people who have, TDS, Trump derangement syndrome, and all the arguments and all the debate and all the discussions I've had with people who have TDS, in the end, because they have no proof, in the end, all that ever comes out is, we don't like him. We don't like him. That's it. That's it. It's like, dude, I mean, I've mentioned this in Facebook videos and everything. You like every relative that you actually have? Do you even like anybody do you like everybody in your immediate family? I don't. So I find it funny when they say, well, I don't like the president. Well, damn, if you don't even like, your people in your own family, then you can't throw that out like it's supposed to mean something when it comes to my president. No, don't like him. So who gives a damn? I got to go to the VA here. Guess I'll take off in about another hour or so. I got to go to the VA anyway and deal with that. That man has done so much for this country, so much for our police, so much for our military, so much for veterans, like fucking Beta Bitch O'Rourke, who didn't do shit. That motherfucker gained his name by stepping on the backs of us veterans, claiming he was going to fight for us veterans and do all this stuff for us veterans, and then didn't do a goddamn thing. He got his name out there stepping on our backs, then all of a sudden tried to run for governor, and then tried to take position away from what it was, congressman or whatever the fuck he was trying to do. Recently, when I met Ted Cruz, met Ted Cruz, got his autograph. It was a great day. And then recently tried to run for president, Beta Bitch O'Rourke. He used us to get his name out there, saying he was going to help us veterans, and then didn't do a damn thing to help us veterans. While my president, Donald J. Trump, he actually did what he said he was going to do. He helped black colleges. He helped our police. He helped our military. He damn sure helped our veterans. The week, no, not even the week, the very next day after he signed that paperwork, that executive order helping out us veterans, that very next day, I had an appointment that next day. That very next day, it was packed at the VA because veterans were finally, I've been dealing with the VA for a few years now, more than a little bit, for a few years. I didn't do it when I first got out because it was hell back then. And of course, you have a lot of my older veterans that didn't want to deal with the VA because it was really shit back then. It still needs improvement, especially here in El Paso. El Paso is ranked the worst VA in the country. But it's still gotten, when we had the whole Tri-West thing and the choice program and all that, that helped out a lot. That very next day after he signed that executive order, the VA was packed. And veterans in line veterans were just like, it's about damn time we have a president that gives a fuck about us. That right there is what a real president is. That right there is somebody who gives a fuck. Beta bitch O'Rourke, all he did was use us, get his fucking name out there, and then just left us in the dirt. He is an opportunist piece of shit. I am so fucking glad his piece of shit. Funny thing is, you had movie stars and people coming out of the woodwork supporting people who aren't even here in Texas, supporting fucking beta bitch. Where are all they now? Where are all these movie stars and everybody now? He was the one, they were supporting it. Oh yeah, he's gonna change that. Dude is a corrupt. His family, beta bitch O'Rourke's family are fucking corrupt. I've got friends. We've worked on his campaign and everything. It's like, dude, did you even know who he was a couple of years ago? No, I did. You know why I did? Because I'm a veteran, and he was contacting us veterans to basically use us to help get his name out there. I was like, he was a piece of shit then. He's a piece of shit now. Well, I don't want to talk politics. I'm not going to bring up the person's name. But I've been meaning to ask him, so what happened to your beta bitch? Whatever happened to him? What happened to him? He's gone now. I picked on him when he lost. You know, when he lost against Ted Cruz, I picked on him then. He's like, oh, I want to hear it. I want to fucking hear it, man. I don't want to talk politics. You know, he's the one with a damn bumper sticker on his fucking backpack thing, you know, of supporting Beto and shit. But he doesn't want to talk about it. Obviously, you do want to fucking talk about it because you got that shit on your damn backpack. So obviously you want to talk about it. So I'm going to bring it up. Why do you support this piece of shit? I'm a veteran. I'm calling him out as a piece of shit. He used us to get his fucking name out there. What do you know about the man? Because he talks? What the fuck has he done to have your support? What has he done? Other than running his mouth and talking, what has he done to have your support? Well, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. Yeah, because you have nothing to fucking go on. Even notice how Democrats, all they want to vote on is because they said pretty words. They said pretty things, and that got my attention. You notice how that's how they vote? Or they just vote because, like with black people mostly voting Democrat, because we're supposed to, right? We're supposed to vote Democrat, right? We're black. That's what we're supposed to do, right? No. You use your fucking brain. Just goes to show that Democrats don't have brains. They don't. Because you sit here, it's been 3 years, no evidence whatsoever on my president. No evidence whatsoever. Y'all are like, oh, but they got to keep digging. They got to keep digging. They got to keep digging. There's all kinds of evidence against Hillary, evidence of corruption, definitely with Adam Schiff, definite corruption with Joe Biden and Hunter Biden. Yet Democrats are like, we see nothing. We hear nothing. You know, actual evidence, and they're just like, what? I don't see nothing. I don't hear anything. They want to go after my president. That obviously there is no evidence, and yet they want. You just got to keep digging. Just keep digging, and you'll find something. This Sunland is supposed to be their bombshell witness. And he, during the hearing, says, to Adam Schiff, I was not privy to any of that. I'm going to go off of my assumption, my presumption. Dude, that's not how we do things in this country. You notice how Democrats, and this isn't just even this. I've been watching a lot of what is it? The audit channel. Y'all need to look that up. When it comes to police corruption, and oh my God, I mean, I see we got your 6. I love my cops. I got a lot of friends and family that are police officers, but they are not amongst those corrupt officers that you see in the audit channel, where you have those ones that don't know the law and just outright just think that they're the master of the universe. I got a badge, so you're supposed to just listen to what the fuck I say. You know, you're supposed to identify yourself. No, you're not. Am I being accused of a crime? Is there any proof of a crime? No, but you need to. No, you don't. If there's been no crime committed, you can't detain me, question me, or even ask for my identification based on suspicion. There has to be a crime. You have to actually arrest me. So watch Audit the Audit. Love that channel. Let's finish this up.
So, what did the Democrats prove?
Nothing.
In their charade, the part not in the bowels of Congress, we heard from individuals who, for the most part, would never be allowed in a courtroom because their testimony is based on hearsay for what.
See, that's what gets me. We all know this is a hearing. They're under oath. We know this is not an actual court trial. This is nothing but a hearing. We know this ain't going to go to trial. As I said, the Democrats are doing, all they're trying to do is fix the election. They're trying to muddy the waters. They know they have no evidence to go to trial. They're just trying to muddy the waters for the coming election in 2020. That's all they're doing.
There is no legitimate legal exception. So dream on, Congressman Mike Quigley. We heard from individuals, mostly career diplomats, deep staters, some of whom were not even present or working in the administration at the time of the alleged wrongdoing. We heard about their families, their heritage, how they felt about their job, the president, what they heard, what they presumed, what they assumed, surmised, and certainly did not hear. Some were haughty, conceited, self-impressed, demanding of respect.
Member Lieutenant Colonel Vimmen, please.
And don't forget, I'm a judge. Just wanted to remind you. But if you see me on the street, you don't have to call me Your Honor. And then there was David Sherlock Holmes, whose detection skills are so sharp, he can recite verbatim from the other side of a table during a phone call he wasn't even on.
You said that you were able to hear President Trump's voice through the receiver. How were you able to hear if it was not on speakerphone?
Ambassador Sondland also said yes, he often speaks very loudly over the phone, and I certainly experienced that. When the president came on, he sort of winced and held the phone away from his ear like this. And he did that for the first couple exchanges, but that's how I was able to hear it.
And for those of you who think EU Ambassador Sondland proved otherwise, consider this. Everything he said was contradicted by the facts. The aid was delivered. There was no meeting, no call, no announcement of an investigation, no quid pro quo, the first time Ukraine had ever received lethal aid. His testimony is not only canceled by the facts, but by his demeanor, his arrogance, and his inappropriate smirking, making it clear that he, like many deep state bureaucrats, is not a fan of the president. And keep in mind that it was the Democrats who coordinated with the whistleblower. It was the Democrats who started the inquiry without a vote. It was the Democrats who hid their witnesses in the bowels of the Capitol. The Democrats who refused to allow the minority to present a case, who cut off cross-examination of their witnesses when the answer would not be beneficial to the Democrats. And it was the Democrats who had as their lead prosecutor, judge, and jury a man known for lying repeatedly on a partisan basis, who cares not about truth and justice, but about influence and raw power. So there you have it. A president concerned about where our precious American dollars are going and making sure at the same time he gets to the bottom of the Russia collusion delusion that tore this country apart for 3 years. Then again, it's not over. I hope Republicans, if it gets to this point, have a trial in the Senate, and the first witness called Hunter Biden to show why there was such a concern about corruption in the Ukraine by his father. I'd like to know exactly how much he made a month from his no-show job. And then Joe Biden, I'd like him to swear under oath whether his demand to have a prosecutor fired was a quid pro quo to take the law enforcement off his.
Here's the thing. I don't think this is going to go to trial because, for one, they have no proof. I don't think this is going to go to trial because if it does, guess what's going to happen? Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, Adam Schiff, all of these people will be called under oath. And you already know what the fuck is going to happen. So as I've been saying, I don't think that this is going to be a trial. What I think it's going to be is, or what it is them just trying to muddy the waters before the 2020 election. They know there's not going to be a trial. They're just trying to, throw all this shit out there just so they can just screw with the election. That's all they're doing.
I want Adam Schiff under oath. Did he lie when he said he didn't know who the whistleblower was? Did he create a narrative? Alexandra Chalupa, a former DNC operative who allegedly worked with Ukrainian officials to collect dirt on the Trump campaign, which she provided to Hillary at the DNC. And of course, we have to hear from the whistleblower, one Adam Schiff claims he now doesn't know, to find out how much of this was pre-planned. Polls show the American public is tiring of this charade, like the Russia collusion.
Oh yeah, we're sick of this because it's wasting taxpayer money for what? These assholes are getting a paycheck. These assholes are stealing from us. Teachers aren't getting a raise. Police aren't being paid what they should be paid, while you got McDonald's people asking for $15 an hour. This is ridiculous, but they're wasting all this taxpayer money on a farce.
The delusion is hurting our country, as the Democrat haters will do anything they can to destroy the president, when in reality, they are tearing apart this country. The Inspector General's report is due on December 9th. And that, along with a trial in the Senate, will cause the Democrats to be hoisted on their own petard, which will be well earned.
As I said, I guess in closing of this particular video, let's go ahead and let's go ahead and bring this to trial. Boom, do it. But I already know they're not. That's why they're having a stupid hearing. Having a hearing there's no evidence, and they know they're not going to have any evidence. All they're doing is just trying to screw with the election coming up. Because if it goes to trial, all hell's going to break loose on the Democrats, all of it. And it's just going to be a nightmare for them. So I'm just curious what the next few months are going to hold, how this is going to play out. And I love when somebody said the other day, well, we've been trying to get to the president for a statement, and he's not answering any questions or whatever. He feels he needs to do his job. Exactly. Why would I care about... For one, why would I care about something that holds no water whatsoever? Why would I give a statement on that crap? I've got a job to do. I'm the president of the fucking United States. Aren't you people getting paid to do your job that your people voted you for? I pointed that out in a video the other day about Maxine Waters and Elizabeth Pocahontas Warren. How are they getting a paycheck for not doing their job? Elizabeth Warren is out there on the campaign trail. It's been 3 years. Has this bitch done her job in all 3 years? These last 3 years, has she done her job at all? She's had to answer questions about her DNA. She's literally done nothing. What the fuck has she done? What, like, has she done her job at all? Like, what, one day? At least one? What when has she done her job? Why is this bitch getting a paycheck? We need to have term limits on Congress. We need on all of it. Term limits on the presidency. We need to have term limits on judges. We need to have term limits on senators and Congress. We need to have term limits on everybody because this is bullshit. You people should have already been out of a job long time ago. Anyway, I just had to give my view on, what I felt when I saw these two videos. So I had to be up anyway. As I said, I got to go to the VA here in a little bit. Videos are getting kind of shorter. I'm trying to still get them down to about 30 minutes, but I talk a lot. I got to get my view out there. I can't just play the video. I also got to add my view, which is the point. A person of my age, from where I'm from, how I grew up, my experiences. I need to get my, opinion out there about what I feel. As I said, I love Candace and Brandon Tatum and all those people and everything, the Hodge twins and such. But we need more of us of color that are my age to use our brain and get our opinion out there. We need to start educating more young Black youths. We got to use your damn brain. Stop voting, I got to vote this way because I'm Black. No, dude, just use your brain. Think things through. But anyway, love y'all. Talk to y'all later. Peace.